No, Baldur!
I love you.
Why do you even care? You could have walked away.
The Cygolians here must be better than this.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Captain Kuba here. So, it's been a while since we hear any news about the next God of War, haven't we? 2 years to be exact. I find myself counting the days because the ending of God of War 4 ended in such a powerful way that I simply can't wait to see where Santa Monica Studios takes this amazing world next. Maybe God of War 5 will be announced tomorrow on the next PlayStation 5 event. Who knows? But until that day arrives, I'm still committed to making quality God of War videos for you guys. And today I'm going to give you everything I know about the question of what happened after God of War 4. This question obviously will be fully answered whenever the next entry comes out, but luckily for us, the latest God of War book, Lore and Legends, can give us a glimpse into the future. To begin with, many of the journal entries take place 1 year after the events of the game. This means that the snow that began to fall with Baldur's death has not stopped falling for over a year. Atreus talks about how parts of the Lake of Nine are beginning to freeze. Perhaps realm travel will be difficult in the next game because of the frozen lake. If this happens, it's possible we'll be able to walk on the ice and explore more of Midgard. That would certainly be cool, but what does a frozen lake say about Jormungandr? Is he going to stay under it, or is he going to find refuge somewhere else? We know this is something Brock and Sindri did. Because they no longer wanted to face the frigid cold, Brock and Sindri have consolidated all of their equipment into a cave near the Lake of Nine. This means that they've taken down all of their shops and placed it in one single place in Midgard, instead of having many of them everywhere. I'm not sure how this will apply to leveling up Kratos in the next game, because coming across one of the Smith brothers in God of War 4 allowed for an accessible leveling up system. Having only one shop in Midgard seems very inconvenient from a gameplay perspective, but who knows, maybe Brock and Sindri will start stepping into the realm between realms and travel to us instead. Now for this next part, I want to focus more on the protagonist instead of the world. Very early on in the book, Atreus mentions how his father no longer calls him boy. This would be consistent with the game since by the end Kratos finally gathers enough courage to call him son.
No. We do it together. Son.
It's clear that Kratos has started to respect Atreus as his son and a capable warrior. Now this part is not mentioned in the book, but I believe by the start of the next game, Atreus will be 15 years old, meaning the game would take place 2 years after the events of God of War 4. And by that time, Atreus' powers would have grown exponentially. An example of this can be found on page 44, as Atreus recalls an interesting encounter he had with a wolf pack. A full pack of huge wolves was pacing near the gate. I counted 6, so I got ready to knock arrows fast. They spread out in half a circle when they saw me. They stared at me with yellow eyes, and then after a few seconds, they all started howling at the sky. Something buzzed in my head. It was weird. I felt like something I knew. I lowered my bow. They just howled for a minute until Father appeared running up the river path with Leviathan raised. The wolves sprinted off into the forest. Father approached me. "Are you alright?" He looked at me strangely. "I'm fine," I said. "Did they attack you?" he asked. I almost laughed. For some reason the idea seemed funny. I have no idea why. "No," I said. "They just howled." This to me seems to be a short foreshadowing of Atreus' ability to turn into a wolf or even command them.
You sure I can't turn into a wolf?
You are welcome to surprise me.
Now I want to talk about Kratos. How has his character changed since the ending of God of War 4? And for that I'm just gonna read one of the best journal entries in the entire book. "We're back home, finally. I admit it, I'm totally wiped out. Father let me build a fire while he goes down to the river to field dress a deer we killed in wildwoods near the hut. Father is moving slow, but he isn't tired so much as he's dispirited. That's Mimir's word for it anyway. I poked at the fire and asked why. As usual, I had no idea. Your father is a warrior, lad, Mimir told me. Frankly, when enraged, Kratos is the most frightening killer I've ever seen. And that includes some pretty bloodthirsty Aesir brutes, believe me. His eyes glowed for a bit as he spoke. He fears nothing, not even death. He'll fight anybody or anything, be it God, dragon, or the slavering legions of hell. I said, so what's bothering him? This Fimbulwinter business is different, Mimir said. It's out of his control. You mean it's something he can't fight? I said. Exactly, said Mimir. You can't fight fate, lad. Odin has tried for hundreds of years with absolutely nothing to show for his efforts. Ragnarok is coming, and it can't be stopped. Not by Mjolnir, nor Leviathan, nor the mightiest armies of Asgard and Vanaheim combined. I was quiet for a while, thinking about this. Then, I don't know why, I asked Mimir something I've been wondering for months. Ever since I had that dream that felt real, like something from the future. Do you think Father could kill Thor? That, lad, I do not know, he replied. From this section we learned that Kratos after God of War 4 seems to be sad. Mimir thinks it's because he knows he can't fight destiny, but this doesn't seem to be consistent with his character.
Fate is another lie told by the gods. Nothing is written that cannot be unwritten.
Now I believe there's a way to reconcile these two behaviors. Yeah, it's true that Kratos does not seem to be afraid of destiny. In fact, he changed his during the events of God of War 2. But there's something different about this time. Every action he believed was doing according to his free will suddenly came crashing down when he saw the Jotunheim mural. On this wall, the giants had predicted everything that would happen without fail. And on top of that, the giants even predicted the death of someone important to Atreus, which probably has Kratos thinking it's going to be him. I believe this section of the mural is what has him worried. It's not the fact that he'll die that scares him, it's the fact that he'll have to leave Atreus behind before his job as a father is completed. For the record, I still don't believe this is Kratos. I think Santa Monica Studios wants us to believe it's him to subvert our expectations when they finally reveal it to be Tyr or someone else. So no, I don't think sad Kratos is going to be a thing for too long. But even if this does turn out to be him, he will find a way out of Valhalla for round 2 against whoever killed him. Which brings me to my last point. Mimir's not sure if Kratos can kill Thor. If you really think about it, Thor is pretty much Kratos from the Norse realm. He drinks and parties without stop, and when it comes to killing giant creatures, no one in the Norse realm can stop him. Very similar to someone we know. But since Kratos is the protagonist, I believe he will eventually come out on top. But I just like the fact that the game and books keep hyping up this fight. I really can't wait to fight Thor. Now, I know this was a shorter video, but I just wanted to let you know what has happened since the ending of God of War 4 to paint a better picture of what God of War 5 will look like. So what do you think about a frozen lake of 9, Brock and Sindri moving indoors, Boy no longer being called Boy, Kratos being somewhat sad, and finally, Mimir's skepticism about Kratos' ability to defeat Thor? I really want to know what you guys think about these topics. Also, I just want to say that tomorrow I'll be streaming the PlayStation 5 event at 4 PM Eastern Time, just in case the next God of War gets announced. Do I think it's going to be there? I really don't know. But with that said, I want to thank all of my members for their support of the channel. People like Kree Savage, Mohammed A, and Victor Von Doom, to name a few, really go above and beyond to help the channel grow. I would also like to thank all of my subscribers for liking and sharing my videos. This channel would be nothing without you guys. And with that said, thanks for watching, and remember, go forth in the name of Olympus.